Alright, I'm Army Ghost 91, and this is, thought I'd never be making this video, but this is how I became a Brony. So, yeah. I guess I was sitting in barracks, shoot, about maybe a year ago, I think. Yeah, about a year ago. And my buddy comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, yo, dude, you gotta watch this video. It's like it's like Happy Tree Friends." And so I'm like, all right, I don't normally watch stuff like that, stupid stuff, but I was like, all right, well, fuck it, I'm curious. What's there to lose? So I go to the video, and it's uh, cupcakes, and I I watched it, and I thought it was pretty weird at first. My initial reaction was kind of like, all right, what the fuck is this? And so I look in deeper because I'm thinking, all right, well, if this is what Happy Tree Friends is like, maybe I'll like it. Back to my point. I started looking around on the internet, and apparently the video derived from a fan fiction by some general guy. Back then I didn't really, I didn't really know much about, TV. Just being out of basic training, I didn't really have time to catch up, and usually I was very busy, and didn't normally have time to catch up on watching television too much. Preoccupied with army shit. um, so anyway, I'm looking at it, and I guess my buddy comes back to me. He's like, "Hey, dude, uh, you gotta check this out." So I'm like, "All right." So, well, apparently, that video I showed you was, it derived, yes, from the fan fiction, but the fan fiction derived from a show called My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, and I was a little, I guess, I wasn't really surprised. I was just like skeptical because he'd asked me to watch the first episode, and he persisted and kept nudging me to watch it, and I'm like, all right, you know what? Fuck it, I'll watch it. Like I said, no, I ain't got nothing to lose. You know, so I start watching it, and episode one is over, and my first thought, well, sorry, it wasn't over, but my first thought when I first turned it on, and you know, I'm watching this, and I'm like, why am I watching this right now? And I'm just questioning myself and whatnot. And anyway, it gets to the title screen, and the whole theme song plays, and now I'm sitting there really wondering to myself, why am I watching this? But I kept watching it. It's like, well, maybe there's more, more to it, and I was right. I watched it, and I went to the second episode, and I watched that. I watched the third episode, and then I went to the Pirate Bay, and I got the rest of season one. So I watched all of season one, and I was really into the show. It's funny, I kept telling myself, I'm a soldier. I am trained to kill a human being from 300 meters away, and I'm watching My Little Pony. So it was a pretty awkward thought. You know, being in the military and watching this kind of essentially a little girl, a show for little girls. What I thought was a show for little girls. Uh, so I guess I was browsing around the internet and I found out there were others like me, bronies, and I sat there. I was looking around. You know, I guess they had. My initial reaction was, wow. I'm totally becoming a basement dwelling basement dwelling little girl, and I continued to research into bronies and friendship is magic and the whole deal. And I soon discovered that they weren't they were anything but basement dwelling little girls. I mean, we're talking about doctors, scientists, people who, quite frankly, are hold a much higher degree and earn ridiculous, a ridiculous amount more than what I earned. So I was like, all right, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it's just my way of coping with stress and whatnot. You know, I still had doubts that there was anybody else who's in the military that was like me, and so a few months go by, season 2 comes out, and I watch it, and I watch I read an article on Military Times. And I'll once in a while read it just to keep up to date on regs and what they're instating for the newest PT tests, what the sergeant major is doing most recently. I guess what he's instating, different policy levers, whatnot. Excuse me, and I guess I'd stumbled across this article, and let me see if I can actually pull it up. I probably can. Alrighty. Yeah, there it is. So this article reads, I'll put a link in the description, but it reads it's Army Times, outside the wire, military bronies love their rifles and their My Little Pony, and it has a picture of what looks like a Black Hawk gunner, an Apache pilot, sitting down, and he has a Rainbow Dash cutie mark as his as a uniform patch, and I thought that was funny in so many different ways. And anyway, I kept scrolling down, and eventually I got to the part where it mentioned that I guess there was quite a big it was quite a big deal when I guess there was a lunch held for military bronies at BronyCon 2012, and You know, I kind of been wanting to go to a BronyCon, and I might, it depends, you know, uh, being that I'm busy and whatnot. But back to my point, I found out that I guess there were more people out there like me. More, I wasn't just the only Brony trained to kill per se. Um, I guess that's pretty much my story. Uh, I haven't seen a lot of military Brony videos. You know, I've seen a lot of how I became a Brony videos on YouTube, but I haven't seen any military specific. And I thought I might just do this uh, kind of as a shout out, you know, saying, you know, Army, Marines, Air Force, Navy, National Guard, Reserves, Coast Guard, doesn't matter, you know, military bronies, if you're out there, and I know you are, you're not alone. So it's not weird or abnormal, you know, as I've come to learn. You know, it's different for each of us. It helps me deal with the stress of military lifestyle, and just helps me deal with, among other things in general. Excuse me. So, yeah. Damn. Anyway, I put a link in the description down there to the Military Times article, so you can go read it, you know. And I'll also put a link in the description for any military bronies to a website called Fob Equestria, and I'll put that down there. Anyway, keep it cool, keep it brony, love and tolerate, you know, the whole deal. This is Army Ghost 91 signing off.